Welcome to this guy sipping whiskey blind with his wife. That's what we do over here. We have no clue what's in either one of these glasses, but they look great. You look great. You just got your hair did.
Oh, thank you. I did.
You look great. Thanks for being here. Let's get into this blind tasting.
Welcome to Stuff and Whiskey. I'm Erin.
I'm Josh. We are not professional whiskey tasters, but we are blind whiskey tasters. We don't know what either of these glasses are. We're double blind. They've been drawn at random from our blind sample pool, full of a bunch of bourbon and rye matchups.
Yep.
They could be paired together for almost any reason. There's no telling. We've got curveballs in here to keep us on our toes, keep us honest. You're going to get our honest impressions of what's in the glass. That's why we taste this way, so you get the most honest reactions possible.
Yeah.
And the reaction, or our reaction, is your review. So let's get into glass one. What do you think about it?
I don't know.
Oh, interesting. It's got this fluffy thing on the nose. I love it when I get fluffy on the nose. It just smells fluffy. It smells nougaty. It smells like the inside of a Three Musketeers bar. And maybe some funnel cake.
Yeah, I'm getting funnel cake, like fried fluffiness.
Yeah, like fried dough.
Yeah, it smells heavy.
Yeah, I'm not getting much besides that, though. I'm just kind of getting that one thing. It's that note, general sweetness.
It's fluffy heaviness.
Yeah, makes sense to me. I'm smelling it.
Makes total sense.
Let's get it on the palate.
Okay. I feel like I've had this before. What is this?
I don't know, but this is like that Evanescence song, Bring Me to Life. You know that one from back in the day?
I don't know. Why don't you sing it for me?
No, nobody wants that to happen.
We don't want that.
Wow, the nose was kind of simple to me, and that could just be my issue today. But the palate has got a ton going on.
It's very sweet.
Very sweet. It's got power, seemingly has some pretty good proof on it.
I'm having to think hard with this one on if I like it or not.
Okay.
It's not bad, but I just don't know if it's for my profile.
Okay. Well,
Like, if it's to my flavors profile today.
You've only had one sip.
Yeah, let's give it a second
You should have a
chance.
second one.
Okay, I'm getting cherry popsicle stick. Also, I feel like this is high proof.
Yeah, high proof.
This feels powerful.
That's magnificent.
I don't think I was ready for that. I think that's where my hesitation is coming today. Is I don't think I was ready for what I feel like is probably fairly high proof.
Yeah, and that's when we're doing double blind tastings here. We don't know what's in either glass.
Yeah.
We don't know what we're walking into. And there are some days where you're in a low proof mood. There are days where you want pizza, and if somebody tried to give you tacos, you would say no thank you. There's days where you want tacos, and the best pizza in the world won't cut it.
Pizza always is in my book.
If you want lower proof and you get high proof, that's something that you have to adjust to in a blind tasting format like we do. I'm personally loving this. This fits right in the wheelhouse of my flavor profiles.
Yeah.
I'm getting cherry, grape, oak, spice, all the spices, all of them. They're all present and accounted for.
I'm getting the cherry. I'm getting the oak. I think I am going to need, we'll taste glass 2, and then I'm going to need some more time with both of these because I need to just wrap my brain around the fact that these are probably both high proof.
Yeah, and the nose to me on glass 1 is now going back to it, getting sweeter, and that cherry grape concoction is coming through a little bit, but it's very combined. Like everything is, I don't know if it's just incredibly well blended because that's the way it tastes on the palate, but on the nose, it's so well combined that there's almost nothing that really stands out.
Interesting.
And
Are
glass 2's more the same.
There's a funky, are these weeders?
I do not think glass 1's a weeder.
There's funk. I just got a funk on the second one.
What kind of funk? Talk to us.
Like a funky funk.
Where did this funky funk originate
It's
from?
not quite stinky feet.
Is it like a basement-y, attic-y?
Yeah, it's
antique store?
It's like a basement funk, like a wet funk, not a dry funk. I feel like attic is dry funk, basement is wet funk.
Okay.
There's a wet funk here.
I can kind of feel you there. This to me seems a little bit heavier on the brown sugar than the first glass. First glass seemed a little bit more fruity. This glass is bringing a little bit of the darker notes. It doesn't quite have the bright fruit, but I'm also getting a muted nose on this, which makes me think it's my nose and not the glasses. But the palate on one came through. So let's get 2 on the palate and see how it's going.
This is muted on the palate, I feel like.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
It doesn't have the spice that glass 1 had, but it's got every bit as much power.
There is some tingle back here, but flavor-wise, I'm not getting much.
To me, it's soaking in, saturating the palate.
Am I broken?
Maybe. It's got dark and it's dark and rich is what it is.
Really?
Yeah, I'm getting that.
Okay, I need some time alone with these guys because
Well, let's get another sip of glass 2 before.
I need to get to know them better. On this one, I'm getting powerful. It's more powerful on the second sip.
Wow.
I'm getting more. You said grape and cherry on the first one. I'm getting kind of more grape, fake grape on the second one, and I was getting fake cherry on the first one, like a cherry popsicle versus a grape popsicle.
Yeah. I could almost go on the second one. Has a little bit of fruitiness, and it's like almost a. I see your grape. I'm getting kind of like a blackberry type of thing going on glass 2.
Okay.
Both of these hit the palate, kind of take over, but not in a super strong way. I mean, they're proofy, I think. But
yeah, the second sip, this one, yeah.
But the standout feature of both of these glasses are the way that they saturate the palate with just a dense concentration of the flavors that they do have, and then they last. Like they're both just soaking in. And this is the type of matchup, when we're tasting this way, that I might have a front runner right now, but it's hard to say because you're seeing this happen in real time. This is the type of matchup where we need to take a lot of time, clear our palates, start with the second glass, give it time to finish, because I can still taste the finish on the second glass right now. And the finish on glass 1's every bit as good, if not better, maybe. So we're going to take some time, clear our palate, start with the second glass, come back to the first, go back and forth to see which one we prefer truly without the confines of a recording limit on the camera. We'll be right back, let you know which one we prefer, find out the price, and see if that changes anything for us. And then we'll find out what we've been drinking. This is super interesting. I'm a man torn, but ladies first.
Yeah.
Where are you at on these two?
I think I may be having an off day today. I just want to preface that. It's been a minute since I've really had anything. Like I think maybe a full week or so before I've had any whiskey.
You've had any whiskey, yeah.
So tonight, these are just hitting me kind of harsh. I'm not getting flavors from these for the most part. Like I'm reaching to find some cherry popsicle from this first one. So I'm gonna say my favorite is this first one.
Okay.
But I think these are bad pours for me to start the week off with without having had anything for the prior week, because I feel like they probably are much better than I'm saying that they are. Okay.
Well, to be fair, we do warm our palates up with a known pour, which you did taste, which was lower proof.
Yeah.
And it did taste the way that you normally, it does normally taste to you, but you're just saying the proof is coming across kind of harsh to you.
Yes,
and it's kind of masking some of the flavors,
correct.
Which is great feedback, because I think there's a possibility in our pool that we have some curveball matchups, or that's not a possibility, that's a fact. This may be one of those. I think both of these might be pretty special bottles. And this is good feedback for people, because if these are very special bottles and they're not reading as special to you, they're reading as kind of harsh and proofy to you, that's good feedback.
I feel like the reason I feel badly is because they are reading like they should be. I should love them to me, but I'm not loving them, and so I kind of feel bad.
Okay.
But I'm not getting flavors from them, and I like to get flavors. So I'm getting proof, heat, like power,
yeah.
tingle, and I'm getting oak. And to me, I want more than that. And I think had I not taken a week off of drinking, maybe I would be able to pick up the nuances of some more flavors, but I'm not. And I think I feel badly for not being able to do that, because I can tell that these are probably pretty expensive.
Okay. So you think they're both are? You're on the same page with me?
Yeah, but I am giving them both just okay.
Okay.
Because for me today, right now, at this moment in time,
you can kind of take them or leave them.
They're just okay to me.
Yeah. Like if we were somewhere in a social setting and you had either of those in your glass, you probably wouldn't have another pour of either one of these again. You would move on to something different.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. For me, I'm going to go 2 thumbs up on both of them.
Wow.
Which is maybe the first. It has happened in videos before, but it is
not in a minute.
It is very
not
rare.
In a minute.
It is very rare that ever happens.
Yeah.
I love both of these. I think they both have a ton of denseness, a ton of saturation of flavor. Those are all the things I love. I do think glass 1 is a little bit more of that cherry grape amalgamation, whereas glass 2 is a little bit more of that grape blackberry thing. I honestly don't know which one I prefer more. If I had to have another pour of one right now and you force me to pick one or the other, it's so tough, because glass 1 I think has a little bit more sweetness and it does have a slightly stronger finish, But glass 2, that blackberry note is not a very common note I get, and it's very intriguing to me.
Interesting. Okay.
And then it almost, glass 2, stick with me here, tastes a little burnt, but not in a bad way.
Well, like in a creme brulee way?
Almost
like a good way?
Almost like a charred creme brulee, a black coffee, like that. There's like a little bit of bitterness on glass 2, but in the most pleasant way possible.
Yeah.
And it is a little more cohesive on the palate, not as spicy as the first glass, but I oftentimes like spice, but there's some intriguing things in glass 2 I'm gravitating towards tonight. So I think if I had to pick, I would pick another pour of glass 2.
Oh, you would?
I think I would.
Because it's intriguing, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just think it's a little bit more interesting than glass 1, but I love them both.
Okay.
Immensely. That's why they're both getting 2 thumbs up, and I could run this 10 times. I would love to do this matchup 10 times, and I guarantee you it would probably end 5-5. That's how close these are to me. We're going to find out the price, see if it changes anything for us before we find out what we're drinking, because we know what we're tasting, and we need to see if the price matches. I would say both of these both seem special to me. I wouldn't be surprised if they're $100, $150, $200, or even more than that, bottles.
I will tell you that they are both $100.
Okay, I'm not surprised.
And I'm not surprised either.
I honestly think that's kind of low for what you're getting. Like, I've had $200 bottles that don't taste this good.
Even though they weren't for me today, I could tell that I was tasting something that was expensive. I don't know how to say it in any other way.
Yeah.
I could just tell that.
Yeah. Well, we've been doing this channel long enough. You've drank enough whiskey that you know, even if it's not striking you great that day, you know what good whiskey tastes like.
Well, and honestly, hold up, real quick. Just because I could tell it was expensive or good whiskey doesn't mean I have to like it.
Right.
I'm letting myself off the hook.
Yeah.
I didn't have to like it. So therefore I'm staying at just okay.
Okay. And I'm 2 thumbs up on both. And it's a flip of the coin on which I prefer.
Because taste is subjective.
You did slightly prefer glass 1. Let's find out what you liked better.
I did prefer glass 1.
Go ahead and go glass 1. Okay. 31 is...
Stagg Bourbon, batch 22A.
Oh, I do like 22A.
And this is 132.2 proof.
Well, that comes through. That reads.
And glass 2 is Stagg Bourbon. It's a store pick.
Oh.
And this is 134.4 proof.
Wow.
Both of these I think are thanks to Travis Robeson.
Well, 22A is our bottle, but the store pick is from Travis Robeson.
Do you know what store it was?
We live in Nashville, Tennessee. It was Cool Springs Wine and Spirits.
Oh, okay.
So that's wild. So it drank with less spice, almost had that burnt quality to it. That's really interesting. Okay, so usually, and the reason this matchup is in here, like I said, if you go back to the beginning of the episode when we said that there are some things in our pool that are curveballs to keep us on our toes, this is a curveball to keep us on our toes.
Yeah.
Because I obviously know that Stagg is not an easily findable product, and if you do find it...
So the retail price is $100.
Well, I put $100 in there just for some arbitrary number, because that's what I paid for the last batch of Stagg bourbon that I got.
Oh.
22A.
Okay.
Glass 1. However, you could find it for $50 in control states, $60 in some states, $100 if you get lucky around here.
Okay.
But there are stores that charge $200, $250, $300 for it. I specifically said in this video that I have had $200 bottles that I have bought that I didn't like as much as either one of these.
Yeah. And you know what? Now that I know what they are, I'm not as shocked as I was about my reaction, because I have mixed reviews of Stagg bourbons.
You do. You're very iffy on it.
Yes. There's Stagg Juniors that I love, Stagg Juniors that I hate. Same thing with probably the full Stagg.
This is the Stagg formerly known as Junior.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Right. It's not George T, though.
That's fine. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Like the full-grown Stagg.
Well, it's not great. It's the same thing. They just dropped the Junior off the name. It's the same product.
But I thought it was because it was over 18 years old now.
No. It's because they're past the 18th batch. As confusing as this is to you is probably as confusing it is to a lot of people. It's the exact same product.
Well, then this makes total sense on why I was so iffy, because Stagg, formerly known as Junior, I've had hit and misses with that guy.
Yeah.
We have
guys,
a rocky relationship.
Yeah, it's a roller coaster.
So
There's a lot of ups and downs.
I'm not surprised that I was kind of iffy on both of these, because I'm kind of iffy on Stagg 17, Stagg Junior Batch 17.
You hate Stagg Junior Batch 17.
I actively hate Stagg Junior Batch 17. I'm going to put it out there. I'm sorry. Don't come at me.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
there you go. Just because it's a limited product, just because it's allocated, just because you can't find it or stores mark it up, it doesn't mean you're going to like it. Erin has drank a lot of really good whiskey. She is very mixed on Stagg. This tends to fit my profile of sweet, powerful Kentucky bourbon a lot better.
Historically, you are
your profile.
a more Stagg fan than I am.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was in love with both of these. It makes sense. Again, this was in here to keep us on our toes. And I also wanted to compare an unknown store pick to a regular batch release because store picks usually garner a higher price, a little bit. And then if you're messing around in stores that do markups, or if you are a shopper on the secondary market, then you're going to pay quite a lot more for a Stagg store pick, Stagg formerly known as Junior store pick, over a regular batch. And I think this just proved, and this echoes my opinions prior to doing this double blind, that every Stagg Junior pick I've ever had, other than one, the Specs pick from 2022 that Kim and Mark Schwartz let us try, that blew me away. It's the best thing I've ever tasted in a Stagg bottle, including George T. Staggs. But other than that single barrel, every other single barrel has been only as good as other batches, sometimes markedly worse. I think when you're dealing with a young Kentucky bourbon.
You did prefer this one, the store pick.
I said it was
because it was interesting. It was interesting
because of the blackberry note.
Yeah.
But I also said it had a burnt quality to it that I think could be off-putting to some people.
Yeah.
But point being, when it comes to this stuff, I think you're dealing with a younger, single-digit years Kentucky bourbon that's barrel-proof, 7 to 9 years, allegedly. And the blending of the batches goes a long way towards kind of taming down some of the harsher edges of the store picks. So I would only think about paying a premium for a store pick if you just want to try something different, personally speaking.
And if you're okay with potentially not liking it and being out that money, if that's okay,
right,
then do it.
Right. Otherwise, I would just stick to the batches. Obviously, if I get an opportunity to buy a Stagg, formerly known as Junior, or a store pick, I'm going to take it up to whatever my price limit is on these, which probably would be about $150 to $200, depending on how many Staggs I have at the moment and how badly I want one. Again, I said I've bought $200 bottles that I didn't like this much, so there you have it.
Yeah.
But I would love to pay $60 for it.
I mean, wouldn't we all?
Wouldn't we all? But the bourbon market's crazy. So let us know down in the comments below what you would be willing to pay for Stagg, what you think about 22A. This is one of probably my third or fourth favorite batch in recent years.
Okay.
So I am a big fan of it. Yeah, I think that's it. If you want to get involved in our online community, down in the video description is a link to our Patreon. And we got awesome people over there. There have been people that have helped other people find Stagg. People are trading samples. There have been sample trades of Stagg. We have been involved in sample trades of Stagg to taste different batches and all that stuff. Yeah. All that stuff happens over there. And we release our barrel picks. We do not have a Stagg formerly known as Junior barrel pick, but we are trying to get one actively.
Oh.
And
I did not know this.
Yes, we are in Buffalo Trace's Single Barrel Select program.
Oh.
It might be years before we get one.
Who knows?
Or we may never. But I'm trying because I love this stuff. And if I can find one that I like, that Erin likes too, we're probably going to have a winner.
We're both going to have to like it.
Yeah.
For us to pick it.
Yeah. But yeah, check that out if you want to. If you want some merchandise, apparel, yada, yada, you can check out stuffandwhiskey.com. We've got stuff over there as well. And I think that's it.
I think that's it. Thanks for watching. Be good to each other. And until next time, cheers.
Cheers.